Okay, so welcome to the CORE 101 session. And as I mentioned, I'm representing Healthy Aging Alberta and CORE Alberta. But I do have our other partners for the CORE platforms in the room here. Ravi and Laura are representing CORE BC and CORE National, and they're in the room here from United Way BC. So just in the spirit of our journey to promote reconciliation, we'd like to honor the truth of the shared history and acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived and cared for these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today, and for those who have gone before us. And Healthy Aging Alberta represents is a uniting body for the Alberta's older adult serving organizations. I am tuning in from Calgary, Mohkinstsis, which is on Treaty 7 territory and Métis Region 5 now. So I'd like to acknowledge the fact that I'm tuning in from Treaty 7 and Métis Region 5. As mentioned, this session will be recorded. So you can turn off your video while we're presenting, and please keep yourself muted. I'll allow time for questions at the end, and you can put questions in the chat as you go along as well. Of course, there's all the reaction buttons. None of us are new to Zoom now. And if you need to send a reaction or raise a hand, you'll find those in the reaction buttons later. You can also add your comments in the chat, and you should see that on your toolbar there. Afterwards, this recording will be uploaded to our platforms. So we'll share it out with you after the event, and you'll get to see it on CORE Alberta, as well as we'll probably share it on the BC platform and our YouTube channels. So I'm representing Healthy Aging Alberta. Healthy Aging Alberta is a rich network of community-based senior serving organizations across Alberta, and we're united by a shared vision, which is to make Alberta one of the best places in the world to grow older. Together, we're developing a coordinated CBSS sector that's respected and integrated within the broader system of care and can empower, support, and inspire every older Albertan to age how they choose, ultimately improving the health and social outcomes. So we're building the infrastructure that is connecting the community-based senior serving sector, and that way we can increase our collective impact. So that's a little bit about Healthy Aging Alberta, which is the host of Healthy Aging CORE Alberta. And our greater vision is to build this network that connects the sector organizations so that we can have a greater impact on the lives of all Albertans. So we coordinate the broader network and weave the broader network so that we can have cross-sectoral collaboration on priority ideas. And then we can refine the services for older adults to ensure that they're better resourced and enhanced. So yeah, that's about Healthy Aging Alberta, and we can you can always reach out to me later if you want more information about us, if you're new to the Healthy Aging Alberta bubble. Now, CORE is supported by different backbone organizations. So Healthy Aging Alberta runs the Healthy Aging CORE Alberta platform, and we are supported by United Way of Calgary and Area. So we are under the United Way of Calgary and Area bubble. Healthy Aging CORE BC and Healthy Aging CORE National are supported by United Way British Columbia, and my collaborators are in the room with us here. So CORE is a provincially and nationally coordinated learning platform to strengthen the sector and increase the organizational and sector capacity through information sharing, training, mentoring, communities practice, policy development, and resource development and collaboration. So it stands for Collaborative Online Resources and Education. So it's meant to be a learning and sharing and collaborating network for our sector, both locally in provincial areas or nationally. So we have 3 different sites. CORE Alberta is the one that I'm representing, as mentioned. We have the CORE BC and CORE National. Now, when you sign up for either of the provincial sites, CORE Alberta or CORE BC, it also prompts you to sign up for CORE National. All of them have very similar platforms. There's a few small differences, but you can be members of groups, you can post content, you can join conversations on all three of the platforms. And who can become a CORE member? Any CBSS staff or volunteer, or if you're coming from an allied system, such as health and housing, or if you're interested in being part of a provincial or a national knowledge hub, and if you have a working email. All right, so here's the CORE platform. As you can see, so right now we're just on the homepage here, and this is the CORE Alberta platform. Now at the top here, you can also toggle conveniently between CORE National and CORE BC. There is a search toolbar if you're trying to quickly look for something on the platform, and you can just type in some keywords. For example, if I type in social prescribing, I can do just a quick search of everything that might be related to that content, and you can look and see what might be there that you're looking up on the platform. As well, you can see over here in the right-hand side, you have your toolbar. I'm logged in as my, not my admin profile, but my regular user profile. So this is exactly how you would see it. So you can check out your account, you can change your password, you can sign out. There is a messaging box that you could message others in the platform. I'll show you a little bit if you have messages there. Your notifications, if you're in a group, you'll get notifications of content when it's posted, and depending how you've set them, also to your email. The little plus is where you can add content to our platform. So you can add new resources, new events, trainings, discussions, funding opportunities, programs, and news. I'll show you how to add that in a bit. And then here you can change the language between French and English if you would like to have the platform in another language. So in the homepage, all three sites have a very similar homepage. So if you scroll down, you'll see news, you'll see just a snapshot of some of the upcoming events, a snapshot of some of the just most recent resources. There's a link to the groups, some additional hyperlinked options here, hyperlink to the programs initiatives. We each have our unique about sections. We also have our unique newsletters. Mine comes out every second Thursday, and I believe Ravi and Laura, you can answer in the chat or you can say verbally. I believe yours is coming on the same type of schedule because you just had one yesterday as well. You're every 2 weeks, aren't you?
Yeah, first and third Thursdays of the month for CORE BC.
Yes. Yes. So you'll see, so all three of us have similar newsletter schedules, and we try to capture a snapshot of what the recent content has been on the various platforms, so that if you're busy, you can kind of keep up to date with content. On my platform, I have the sign up here, but then if you click on the learn more, you can also see past newsletters here. So I have a list of the past newsletters, so you can look at the most recent one that I sent out yesterday at any time. Okay, and then back to the home. Come on, let's go. There we go. And then at the home, at the very bottom, there's some additional hyperlinks to different types of content, as well as, again, you can click to the other sites, some quick hyperlinks there. So that's basically the home. Now, as you can see, we have some different options here. So groups is an interesting area. On the CORE Alberta platform, we currently have 17 groups that are actively working together on different topics and themes. Some of them are more active than others. Now, these groups, they'll post information, they'll share events. Often some of them have events throughout the month or every quarter. For example, right now here, my Immigrant Senior Sector Connections is having an event next week. So they've posted their event. When you come into the group field, you can look through the groups and see if there's one that you're interested in or more than one. And you'll see there's these options for join groups. So with open groups, you can click and join them, and anybody can be a part of the open groups. Once you're part of a group, you'll see that it switches so that you'll have the leave button now. So right now, for the sake of things, I am only joined into this immigrant senior sector connection group. There are a few closed groups in our systems that are active communities of practice working on things. So those are by request. So if it's a closed group, you have to wait approval to join it, such as our provincial social prescribing funded project. That is a closed group that is our social prescribing funded initiatives across the 10 locations in the province. So if you're part of one of these 10 locations, you can be part of this group. Otherwise, others will not. So the closed groups, when you apply, you'll have to wait for approval on those, whereas the open groups, you can just join. When you get into a group, this is how it looks within the group. So you can see that there's a main feed and content's been posted. You can learn about the group and some of the featured resources. In the discussion section, you'll see if anything's had discussion or recent content. Group resources, any resources that have been shared in the group are hosted in this section. Some of the groups you'll see also have folders. If they have lots of resources and they're a heavy resourced group, they might have a folder to organize those. This is a relatively new group, so it doesn't have as many resources. And you can add a new resource. So you can see here, if you're part of this group, you can add a new resource and then follow the steps to get some information in there. Events, as you can see, we have the recent events. So we have the Immigrant Senior Sector Interagency meeting that is happening here in a few days. So we have the information there so that folks can join that event with us. You can see the other members in the group right there. And you can always message them. For example, if I wanted to message Rebecca, I could click on her name and then see it gives me a little snapshot of her profile and her information, and I can send a message. And that will then show up in my little messaging bubble in the right-hand side here, so that if she replies, and you'll get a notification if somebody's messaged you in the platform. And then you can also set your notification settings. So if you don't want, if it's a really active group and they have lots of content posting all the time and you don't want to have all those notifications, you can turn off those notifications in this section here. Okay, so that's the group section. Anybody can start a group and you can reach out to us if you have a thought of a group that's not here. You just need to reach out to one of our platforms and we can continue the conversation about what that group would look like and build it out. So the Immigrant Senior Sector Connections recently built their group a few months ago and they launched it. We're going to have another one launching here soon, which is Association of Senior Centers, I believe is the name. Yeah. And then I'll take you to the funding opportunities. So funding opportunities, this by no means is, this is not a comprehensive list, but anytime we have funding opportunities that come across our platforms, we post them on here. So this is a nice little snapshot that you can see some upcoming grant deadlines. The formatting, and you can always post in here too. You have the ability to post a funding opportunity if you would like. Our formatting is that we try to keep the deadline in the title so that folks can see when the next deadline is. Also, you can see if it's Canada-wide or Western Canada, we do post that in the title so that folks can know it's a Canada-wide grant. And what happens is on the back end as well, Ravi, Laura, and myself will cross-post some of these larger ones across the multiple platforms if it's Canada-wide. So when you click on one of these grant options, you'll see we've given a snapshot of just some of the basic information about the grant, maybe some of the different deadlines. There might be some contact information, and then you can also click the button to follow through to the actual page of the granting site, so that you can read the full grant proposal. So, like I said, it's not a comprehensive list, but if things come across our plate, we do put them on here, and you can get a good idea if there's something coming up. I always post about this in my newsletter too, so you can see a snapshot of the grants for the next little while that have come across. Network partner and organizations has some of the programs. So if you have a program that you want folks to know about, for example, CWA posted their Grandma's Kitchen, you can post it in the program area. And that way other partners can learn about what you have on the go for older adults. Whenever you make a post, you will be able to also edit your post. So for example, if you put the new schedule of your sessions and you wanted to update that post, I'll just click on one of these posts. I didn't post this one in here, but there will be an edit button at the top right here, that you'll be able to edit any of the information in your post, and update that if there's new information. Okay. We're also, for the Alberta site, we are launching our updated systems map. So we do have an older systems map that is on here. Right now it's currently in the bottom section here. So we're launching it here in the next, version 2 in the next little bit. So you can click and see the current systems map right here. But if you would like to be part of the new systems map, we have a forum going on right now, and we're collecting all the information so that we can launch the system in the next month or so. When we do launch it, we are hoping to have it nested under here. So if you haven't had a chance to fill out the form, please fill out our systems map form. We've been promoting it across various networks, so you might or may not have seen it yet. Resources. So the resource section is pretty much exactly what it is, what it sounds like. This is where you can post various resources or view other resources that folks have posted, such as toolkits, research, reports, webinars, surveys. You can see that our formatting is we try and keep the type of resource at the beginning in brackets there, just so that folks can understand what it might be. You can also always search if you're looking for a certain, so there was the search I showed you at the top, but then you can also search by certain subjects or categories or audiences if you want to narrow your search and do a quick little search there. Okay. When you click on a resource, as you can see, it has the full resource. Some of them might have a video attachment, some might have a downloadable content. You can attach PDFs, you can attach JPEGs, you can attach Word documents. There's different types of formats you can attach to a resource when you're posting, and then folks can access that. There's also websites. You might notice there might be a hyperlink to go through to the full website of the piece. There might be a video embedded. So depending on the resource type, it might have different types of content. For example, this recorded webinar has a video embed there. So you can see there's the recording. Okay. Training and events. So this is our training calendar, and this is for folks that are working within the senior serving sector. This is any events that are for you to take for capacity building. So we're not putting programs and services in here. We're putting trainings for you. So for example, this recent one you can see, empowering nonprofit admins with modern governance tools or modern governance technology. So you can see throughout the months, there'll be options for events for you to take. Almost all of these is free. If it's not, we do post the price in the event so that you can see, such as conferences. They might have a price tag attached to them. But otherwise, many of these one-time webinars and sessions are free. So there's lots of wonderful training in here on a regular basis. We do try to keep a little snapshot in our newsletters of upcoming events and trainings that you can attend. We also, Ravi, Laura, and myself, try to cross-post across the platforms so that if you are a member of Alberta and there are some national events that are available for you to attend, or some BC events that you can attend, you'll see that we try to populate the calendars so that you don't need to always jump between the 3 sites to see what's going on. And you can access some of these webinars from other parts of the country. So any of these events, you can, just like other resources, you can click on it, see the event information, the write-up, and of course, there will be the date and the time and the register button. Depending which platform you're on, that's how it will display the time. So you'll see it might say Mountain Standard or Pacific Standard Time, depending on what's going on. And we always do conversions. So if it's Eastern Standard Time, we'll put it in our local conversions. News. This is any news that's come out across the sector. So news articles. Here's one that I just posted yesterday from Brooks. So very similar news articles, who the news provider is, and then you could view the full release. So that is our basic overview of the platform. Now, when you want to post content, okay. So when you click the post button, you'll get something like this come up. Okay, it'll be blank. I pre-filled it out for us, just so it's easier. You'll see it in your left, when you're logged in as a regular user, you'll see some of the different types of posts. And this is where you can also view your content that you've posted in the past, okay? So I'll post this one and then I'll show you what this menu looks like. So I was wanting to create an event. And I had the Canada Social Prescribing Conference. The first thing you should do is you should search to see if that content or that event is already in there. So search the name, see if it's already in there, just to make sure that you're not double posting it. This event was not in there yet, so it's the Canada Social Prescribing Conference. I did a search already this morning. So I can choose which site I want it on. Because I'm a member of Alberta National, I'll only have those options. If I'm also a member of BC, I can put on BC. Put the title in, try and put the type of content at the beginning just so that folks can know. Then you can put the body copy here. Try and often I'll just copy it from whatever the resource or the site is. You can change the size of font. So if you want, for example, here, the submissions are accepted till February 26th. If I want that bold, I set it to a different size. There's all your normal editing tools. And if you need to hyperlink to a site, you can click on your piece of content and hyperlink, just like you would in your Word programs or your other processing programs. You can write a little summary here. So this is a quick snapshot for folks to see. The link, this is an event, so there'll be a registration link, the organizer. So this is put on by Canadian Institute of Social Prescribing. The location, if it's online or if it's in a specific in-person place. If it is online, you can just put online if it's an online webinar. Now, the event calendars are a little bit trickier. It's relatively straightforward, but you can, of course, search your date, your year, your time, and then make sure that you click on the little clock. You don't forget to click the clock and put your time in, and then hit the select button, and that'll input your time. Okay. And then, of course, if you want to put a picture in here, I'm just going to put, there it is. Straightforward. There's your little cover photo. You can put that in. Alt text is for folks that might be seeing impaired. and they need their device to read out a description of what's happening there. So you could please put in the alt text. If you want to post this in a group, you'll see there's group options too for the site that you're on. The subject areas and the categories, these help us when you're doing that search. You notice there was those different categories and subject areas. This is where it goes. So when somebody clicks on the ones that are relevant, that's how it will go into the search function. And then you just hit save. All right, and there it goes. So now it's in the events. You'll see it's blue, and that's just because whenever you post anything, Ravi, Laura, and myself need to approve it on the back end. So it will just await for us to approve it, and we'll just make sure you haven't missed anything or whatever. You'll notice there's also a copy button here. So if I wanted, for example, this one, I posted on Alberta, I can hit the copy button and I'm going to post it on national at the same time. Okay, so I'm just going to switch the tab and hit save. And it's gone in. So now I have two. And you know what? I think the BC site should also see this one. So I'm going to copy it one more time and I'm going to put on BC and I'm going to hit save. So, oh, sorry, I can't do that because I'm not logged into BC. Never mind. I'll have to log into BC to do that. But I can post it on the two sites that I'm currently logged in right now. And because that's a national conference, that's why I want it listed on both sites. Now, if you ever have issues with that copy function, you can just message us and we can do it on the back end. We just need the title of the content and you can let us know if you want it cross-posted. You can see you can always edit your content. And you can see other content that you might have posted. I haven't really posted much from this profile, so there's not really much here that I can see of content. Okay. And if you're posting a resource, it's pretty much the same. You can hit the plus button in the front end, or again, if you're already in the back end, you can go add a resource, and it's very similar. Filling out. The difference is with resources, you can embed videos, you can attach your attachments. So you attach your report or your PDF and then hit save. Otherwise, it's relatively the same. So these are some of the stats from the Alberta site. I don't have the BC and national sites currently. But from the Alberta site, we have and these I captured at the end of November. I haven't done a recent report, but we have over 1,800 members, over 4,000 pieces of content, around 4,400 monthly visits. And actually at that time we had 18 groups. We now have 17, and then we're bumping it back to 18 again. We had one group close up here a month ago, just because their work was done. I did introduce myself a little bit at the beginning here, but here you can know a little bit more about me. So I am representing the Healthy Aging Alberta team. I am the engagement and communication specialist there. So I help support CORE from the Alberta team. So I support and manage the CORE groups. If you are part of a CORE group or you want to start a group, any of the content and email communications. So if you want to post content or you're having issues posting your content, you can send me a message. So anything really related to CORE, you can send me a message. If you need technical guidance, if you're stuck somewhere, if you're having issues with the platform, and then you'll also see other Healthy Aging Alberta communications are coming from me, such as newsletters or other branded content. And I don't know, Ravi and Laura, do you want to introduce yourself at all, actually, since you're in the room here? No pressure.
Yeah, sure, I can go. My name's Laura Katawaki, and I work for United Way, British Columbia, and so do the Healthy Aging CORE BC and national platforms with Ravi. And then I also do other work around research and knowledge mobilization. And we're really excited that there's going to be the opportunity in the coming year to partner more with CORE Alberta and Healthy Aging Alberta in order to do some more cross events and leverage each other's resources. So we're really looking forward to that opportunity and really admire all the work that Stephanie's done with your platform.
Thank you, Laura. Ravi, did you want to say anything about yourself? Maybe not. All right. Ravi's lurking in the room here. And he collaborates with Laura on the CORE BC and CORE National platforms. Okay, and then we also have our YouTube channel. Here's a snapshot of the Healthy Aging Alberta YouTube channel. So whenever we host CORE events, we record the content. This is CORE group-led events or ones led by Healthy Aging Alberta. It's not every single event on CORE because many of those are hosted by outside partners. But any of the groups that host events or any of our Healthy Aging Alberta events, we record those and then we put them on here. And you can see there's different playlists for example, our social prescribing group, our food security group, or immigrant senior sector connections group. So if you wanted to watch a previous event, you can catch up. You can also see when new events come out, we'll post them on here. If you did register for an event and you can't attend, don't worry, because we'll send you a message afterwards with the recording. So for example, today with the CORE 101, anybody that wasn't able to join us in the room, we're currently recording, and I'll send out a message after this event for anybody who wants this information. All three platforms have the regular newsletters, as I mentioned. So Alberta, BC, and National all send out newsletters on a bi-monthly basis. We're on a very similar schedule here. So we all just had a newsletter that came out yesterday. Our newsletters typically include sector news, snapshots of recent resources, programs, funding opportunities, things that we've pulled from our respective sites that we might want to feature, and new content that's gone up there. If you're interested in adding content to CORE, you have to be a member to the platform. You don't have to be a member to view the platform, but to add content, you do need to have your membership, and it's a free membership. And as I showed earlier in the session, you'll see that newsletter sign up on each of our pages for our respective newsletters. So you can just click on the corresponding page to sign up for our newsletters. And you'll have to do this separately for the 3 different newsletters. Okay, I'm going to go to question period here and look into the chat. But just so I don't need to screen share again, I will give us a survey in the chat, and please make sure to check out CORE Alberta, BC, and National. As well, you can contact us, and we have our contact pages on CORE, so you can contact me at info@healthyagingalberta.ca, or you can contact Ravi and Laura at canada@healthyagingcore.ca. So I'm just going to come to the chat. And does anybody have any questions here about the platform? So we have one. It looks very well set up and easily navigated. Yes, it is relatively easy to navigate and move around, and we hope you are able to find everything. And if you're ever stuck with things, just let us know, and we can help from our end. Oh, I have a hand up. Yes. In the meantime, I'll also put the post survey in the chat there. So please complete our post survey. I'm also going to put my contact email in the chat again. So if you need to get a hold of me, if you have some post questions or you're struggling, you can email me at healthyagingalberta.ca, info@healthyagingalberta.ca, or you can hit the contact form on the CORE site. There's a question, how do I connect and communicate? I'm assuming you want to connect with other folks on the site. If that is a yes, so if you want to connect with other folks in the site, it would be mostly through the groups. So if you're part of a group, you can message the other members and you can connect with those folks. You can message back and forth via in the group. You'll see that once you click on those member profiles, you can send them a message. Now, if you come to any of the group events or any of the Healthy Aging Alberta events, Some of the group events are set up as a cafe with conversation, discussion, breakout rooms, and you can have a chance to meet other folks. Some of them are set up more as a webinar. So there's different types of events that we host that are led by CORE Alberta or Healthy Aging Alberta, that you can meet others and connect with them. Typically, I'll feature those in a different area in my newsletter so that you have a difference between which ones are led by our Healthy Aging Alberta network of groups and staff compared to general events in the sector. So I keep them separated, and ours are highlighted at the top. So that's a good chance to meet other folks in the sector. I know that our intergenerational linkages group often has monthly events, and they're very much a great chance to have conversations with each other. And we often have convo circles and discussion groups and breakout rooms. Our Connecting People and Community for Living Well also has monthly events, and they have opportunities for conversation there. So those are good chances to meet on a monthly basis. At our Healthy Aging Alberta team, we also do regional gatherings once a year. We're doing those from April to June this year. So you'll get a chance to meet people across the sector in your area. And we'll have those in person and in a place close to you. And then there is a national summit on right now that you can, I think there's only a few days left for applying for that. Laura, correct me if I'm wrong. It closes March 1st. Does it close?
I think February 28th.
February 28th.
I can put the link in the chat.
Yes. So we do have the national summit that they want to have applications right now of if you would like to attend before February 28th. And it's on the CORE National site. We have the link there. And so if you want to go to the national conference, you can. And then I believe, Laura, you're also having your BC conference this year, correct?
Yes, that'll be in November.
Yes. Yeah, in November. We just had our Alberta one last year, so we won't be having another one for another year because we're alternating with BC. So, all right. Any last questions? Well, don't be afraid to message me afterwards if you have a question that's burning that comes up. Otherwise, thank you everybody for attending today. I hope you all have a wonderful time on CORE and it helps your work. And let us know if there's any issues you have with it. We will post this recording online, so if you need to revisit any of the stuff I said, because I did say a lot of information, it will be up there and I'll email you afterwards. Please complete our survey so we can learn more about your experience. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.